I can only book travel in coach class? Okay. Shortly before COVID brought all manner of traveling work to a screeching halt. I was finishing up a job and getting ready to book my travel home. Normally everyone would just fly. And in my case that meant a nice short trip of about 2 hours in the air. However, this particular location and the route back home for me had an extremely scenic train route that took about 12 hours. And as a bonus, I could get a sleeper car for a pretty cheap price. Less, even, than the flight. I asked my boss if there was any reason I had to fly instead of taking the train, as the latter would save them money. And he said it would be fine. I didn't waste his time or mine by mentioning any of the above details. I simply booked my ticket and immediately sent in the receipt for reimbursement. Not 20 minutes later, I get an email, paraphrasing. WTF is this? I thought you said you were going to book travel that would save us money. What do you think you're doing booking a sleeper car? You're not one of the big shots out here. Send me a new receipt for your coach class accommodations. Okay. As you wish. QMC. Since this happened so quickly, I was able to cancel my $150 train ticket without issue. And since there was no way I was taking a 12-hour train ride in coach instead of a 2-hour flight, I booked my air travel like I normally would and immediately sent in the $450 receipt for my coach class flight. I got yet another email asking me what the hell I was doing. Now, I'm good at booking travel and I know how to find good prices. I knew that there wasn't a cheaper flight to be had. So I wrote back, sorry. This is the cheapest coach class flight I could find. If you can find a better one, please let me know before the 24-hour cancellation window closes and I'll be happy to book that. Instead, clearly frustrated, they told me to stop playing games, cancel the flight, and just buy the damn train ticket. I didn't. I took the flight home and got reimbursed per company policy for my coach class flight. Ha 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 ha, I did the same damn thing. I booked a bus ticket home for a 10-hour bus ride home. It was an executive-type bus that caters to business crowd. I'm talking all first class with huge chairs that lay all the way down to sleep. Got an email within minutes of booking that they were not paying for first-class accommodations in. To book coach. Turned around and booked coach flight home and ticket went from $190 to $450. Fuck them. So busy watching how the pennies are spent that they lose sight of the dollars. That's like saying, no, you may not book a room in Hotel A, because it's 82 euros a room and our travel policy only allows 80 euros a room in that city. But you may book a room in Hotel B which is 79 euros a room and get reimbursed for the 14 euros each way taxi trip that you need because that room is much further away from the office. Similar thing happened to me years ago. I found a first-class airline ticket for less than coach. I booked it. Was told nope. Then I had to rebook and pay more for a coach ticket. Clearly, it wasn't about the money. They bitched about a $150 ticket? That seems cheap for 12 hours, especially for a sleeper car. I booked a business trip one time through work. And I realized since my wife was going with me and was a rewards member of the hotel chain where we were staying, I put the rooms in her name. This saved my work about $200 over 3 days because her reward level gave us free Wi-Fi, comped breakfast, and several other perks. When I turned in my receipts, you would think I broke into the safe and stole money. It took me multiple phone calls with supervisors to get the finance department to understand what I did. I finally told them they wouldn't have to worry next time. I would just charge it all and they could just pay for it. I once had a customer in the Dominican Republic. If you knew the flights, you could get a first-class ticket for less than a coach ticket. Since I was down there every 3 months, I figured this out quickly. The first time I purchased the first-class ticket, my employer did this same spiel. I explained the flight was cheaper and had to physically show them by me logging in and showing both classes of tickets. Had this happen once in Turkey as well. Yep. Happened to me once. I took the train. $11. Instead of driving, hoteling. Got reamed over it. Who takes the train to big city? Drive yourself next time and stay in the hotel. We don't have Amtrak as a payee in the system. Okay. I went on an international business and asked to extend the trip by 1 day so I could do some sight seeing. She said 1 week out of the office was enough and she wanted me back. This required me to travel back on a holiday, which she clearly was forgetting is automatic double time. Our company pays employees the entire time you're traveling. So by the end of that travel day, I was owed for 32 hours of work. She tried to fight me on it, and I already had an email from HR with written confirmation that I was correct. I don't get how someone reviewing this stuff feels like they're doing a good job and helping the company. Like they're just thoughtful enough to realize that a sleeper car is more expensive than coach, but too stupid to realize a train is cheaper than a flight. Honestly, if companies got rid of these PPL, they'd probably save tons of money. The execs are the ones blowing up the budget with crazy expensive hotel stays and first class travel anyway. At least where I work. And the corporate drone can't tell them no. Same thing happened with my previous job. I had a train pass that I had purchased with my own money and that I used to travel on weekends. The pass was expensive to buy, but with it I could take any train to anywhere at half price. I traveled a lot at that time and saved a lot of money with that train pass. Although I had paid for the pass myself, I also used it when I needed to travel for work. So my company would only pay half price on my tickets. It didn't cost me anything, so it looked like good policy. One day I needed to travel for work on a Monday. I was spending the weekend in a city not far from the place I had to go to for that job. I decided to not go back home in between and asked the lady who booked our tickets to just buy me one from the city I was spending the weekend in. Boss called to tell me that this wouldn't happen as I was supposed to travel to the job from my usual place of work, and they weren't going to buy tickets from fancy places. I said okay, but I was very pissed. Now guess who forgot using their personal train pass when they needed to travel for work after that? Yeah, that's right. It ended up costing them 20 times the price of the ticket they had refused to buy for me. Morons. Typical corporate attitude. Serves them right. Smirk. Hope whatever idiot you were dealing with gets chewed out. Once went to a conference a couple hours away. Saw the conference was about 5 minutes from a state campground and decided to book the campground for $35 for the whole conference. Got an email from the business office telling me they don't reimburse vacations and I cannot stay at the campground. So I canceled it and booked the $450 per night conference resort. Took then less than an hour to call and say I could stay at the campground, just this once. I'm used to this. I would have booked the train and sent an email stating the price difference. I'm just tired of fighting out expenses like that. The bigger the company, the bigger the bureaucracy and the less efficient everything gets. It's a game of 5 and take, though, seeing as budgets are much larger at the bigger companies. Similar thing when I was in the Royal Navy. I was drafted from Plymouth, England. Bottom and to the left. Up to Faslane in Scotland. Almost top but still on the left. At that point Plymouth still had an airport and I requested a flight to Glasgow, where a friend would pick me up. Another friend was moving house, so I did a deal where all my stuff went on his truck. He was driving up with family. Anyway, P.O. Ren Ryder, in no uncertain terms, informed me only officers got air warrants, and scumbags, juniors and NCOs, got rail warrants. No matter how many times I tried to phrase it, she was not budging. Oh well. So I got my train warrant, and traveled from Plymouth to London, underground across London, then London to Birmingham, change there and get another train to Glasgow Central Station, taxi across the city to Glasgow Queen Street, then train to Helensburgh Central where my oppo picked me up and took me to Faslane. Grand total of £453.89 and 12 hours of travel. I made sure to claim every penny including taxi fare. The flight was £134. And would have taken 3 hours max from door to door. Go Navy, as the Americans would say. Edit. My very first award. Many thanks grin grin. Second edit. Now my second award. Thank you kind stranger smile smile. Third edit. The route taken was the cheapest train fare. I didn't plan to spend half the day traveling. Just the route that was available on my warrant. Not first class and only certain services. Was asked about this offline as someone thought I'd taken the piss with my route. I got a job booking accommodation after having worked 10 years in hotels. My first day I said, I can save you 50% on your hotel accommodation if you let me book direct. They said, no. We prefer to book through this agency as there are fewer invoices. Okay. Fuck it then lol. I started looking up what, following company policy, would actually cost. And then pick what I think is more logical or cheaper. Then I add in summary notes with the booking. I got some pushback at first. But after 2 or 3 trips, travel team stopped asking questions and just started trusting my comments and approves whatever I want. It's never about cost, it's about control and suffering. No different when people say they're brutally honest. They're more concerned with the brutality than the honesty. My hotel in downtown San Diego was declined because it was $8 per night more than the regional maximum. And this mandate to change hotels came the night before a 4-day event that was highly attended. The closest hotel with a vacancy was almost 70 minutes away and required a high-cost Uber back and forth daily at great expense.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.